Here we go. I think we are almost ready to start. Discord calls on mute until the introduction is done, so can't wait to introduce y'all to who's on the committee here with me and also helping me out this year. Definitely got some great help this year. All right, we are going to start at the start of the minutes. So, of course, I have to go to the YouTube description and change this. All right, let me know when it hits 9 minutes. Oh, it's about to hit 9 minutes right now. Shoot. Here we go. We are transitioning. Welcome back, everybody. Dirk the Red Panda here with... Oh, shoot, this isn't a visual novel. This is a visual novel bracket. Welcome back to March Madness 2022. My annual bracket that started because I was bored during the pandemic. Yes, this is the selection process part of it to determine who's going to make the bracket. I didn't want it to just be a few committee members choosing who's in the bracket, because everybody here has so many great opinions and just so many different tastes and novels and whatnot to show us. So, yeah, it's great to see everybody and to see who they think is the best. I'm kind of removing the moniker of best boy since it is all gender inclusive now, so it could be best boy, girl, NB, however characters identify as or are portrayed in the novels. So, yeah, it's going to be fun. It's going to be interesting to see everybody all together, but now in 3 divisions. We have a niche division, we have a middleweight division, and we have a heavyweight division. And let me introduce who is going to be doing the niche and middleweight divisions. So let me bring the Discord call in. Along with my 2 other committee members here, Koro and Sir Bob, we have announcing the niche division for us, Fallen Wolf. Give her a nice little greeting.
Oh, thank you, Dirk. So,
Yep.
I'm here. We're doing so for the niche category. We figured that for some of the lesser well-known VNs that still deserve a spot, we do the niche category, which is for some of the, like I said, some of the smaller, not quite as well-known furry VNs, or even ones that are. I believe there's a few on there that are still works in progress that haven't
Yep.
been released yet.
Yeah, there is one on there that hasn't been released, but yeah, some are
Released, yeah.
kind of, early stages that have releases. But yeah, either way. Thanks for the introduction and rundown. We actually did not have anything prepared for this, so yeah, that was really good.
No, we didn't.
Thanks. All right.
Thank you.
Awesome. And so now to give us a little breakdown of the middleweight division, hopefully I'm not putting him on the line too much or putting him on the spot too much, because I know he prefers to record than to do live streams. Here is North Grizz.
Yes, I'm not that great at improvising, but here we go. And yes, so the middleweight division is kind of what it suggests. Fallen gave a great description there of the niche stuff, so thank you for that, Fallen. So basically, the middleweight is just a bit more well-known stuff, a few more well things, but not at the, shall we say, the kind of Adastra level, which Dirk will be handling in the heavyweight division.
Thanks.
And I think we've got some interesting ones in here, so I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah, and I definitely agree with some of these novels being like, yeah, they're not too obscure, but they definitely have their growing and their following, so it's a great way to break it down. And there are definitely novels in the middleweight division that I've really liked there, even in the niche, so don't sleep on the niche division, or the middleweight division for that matter. So I will be doing the heavyweight division, the grand division of the, like they said, heavyweights. Our big novels are Adastras, our Nekajishi, Echo, The Smoke Room, the big names of the VN community. But yeah, that is kind of how we're going to break it down, kind of do this 3-pronged tier. We might do all the results for all 3 divisions on my channel, or if we want to work things out, maybe do it on our respective channels. But either way, we want to give our utmost to each of the divisions when we announce, so none of us are too overwhelmed. All right, let me check the time. Oh, perfect timing. It is 5:59. We got 1 minute left until as I say that, it is 6 o'clock. The poll now closes. 610 responses are in. And I am going to hide this window from y'all. The committee can still see it for now. And transition that just so I can bring up the selection results. So what I think I'm going to do, is save and upload this. So in the meanwhile, I will just kind of do that. And committee members, feel free to just chat and spread your thoughts about what you've thought about the candidates and all that stuff. This is the other improv time. I am sorry for putting you all in the spotlight.
Well, I mean, first things first. Hi, my username, Mr. Bob Marvelous, and my fellow committee member Koro, also probably here if they're not experiencing chaos, background noise, and therefore are muting themselves.
I have a life.
No, not assuming. You are one of Lively Life. You're one of our mods for the Discord, so no
I
doubt
am
there.
therefore God. Man.
Oh man, makes you think of our other chat, the FVN one where we have a guy that Mike makes him sound like God. Oh man. So yeah, that's all good stuff. But yeah, those are the two mods. So didn't get an introduction on them yet, but yep, these are our other two committee members that are helping us out. Bob has really done a lot to help me get all the images and working out some of the spreadsheet stuff and just straightening things out. A lot of good, helpful stuff in the background. And meanwhile, Koro has done a great job giving us like just great various Discord and streaming help advice and all that. So, yeah.
Just think of them as assistant referees.
And
Game is afoot.
don't hate the referees. They make the calls. They're just saying what they see. All right. Okay, I'm on the wrong window.
I see a big bull.
Yeah, there's a big poll, like 600 and something, but
I see a lot of familiar faces. A lot of familiar faces.
all around are familiar faces. All right.
See these familiar faces. This song is repetitive.
The misery. Should I put music on in the background? Like, I did have like a video or Spotify thing kind of set up, but I don't know. We have a vibe going here, right? Some sort of vibe.
We have that patiently anxious vibe of who's actually going to win this thing. Yeah, let's go with that.
Yes, that drum roll. I am making sure that the votes are all accounted for in my special new Tableau dashboard. We have now accrued all the votes into this new form where we get to see the selection process. Round 1, round 2, round 3, even the whole bracket itself in one single link. So that is what I'm preparing right now. And I'm going to save it and double check with my Excel sheet to see that all votes are accounted for. And then once we have that, we are going to get into the nitty gritty, the results. Now, where the heck is there it is. My spreadsheet. It brings all the boys to the yard. Okay, these numbers do check out. Yes, these are real numbers. And they do match the Excel sheet, so I'm running it in 2 different programs, and I'm making sure they're both giving me the same signal. And as that loads, we are almost ready to present the results of each division. Slowly, as I see this, making sure I don't have to do any other steps. It is sending the data to the server. We are going to get some results going. I'm going to copy and paste it. My committee members will be able to see this. And this will be published for everybody after we announce it. So y'all can sit tight and know that you can see these results afterwards, even if you missed the stream. Keep forgetting my camera.
It still baffles me that after one day, the votes went from thousands to 2000s.
It's nuts. Like, there was a point where it was like everybody was still in like the hundreds digits, and that's what it was last year. And this year, it's gone up to like 2000s, 1000s, and like candidates that didn't make the bracket have like over 1,000 votes. It is crazy.
It's also a miracle that we don't have to deal with that whole just double voting thing that we've been doing the past couple years as well.
Yeah, that was a bit of a awkward situation. So, I am just about ready, and I am just going to minimize that window. And Fallen, are you ready to announce it? I'll let you know when I'm ready.
Hold on, let me pull it up. Okay, I have the niche set up ready.
Do you have it on your own window?
I have it on my own window.
Awesome, perfect. You didn't have to, so Grizz, don't feel like you're in the spotlight here. I feel like we're really bashing on you today. I'm sorry.
It's fine.
Oh,
I think he's still. I think he's still in a food coma.
yeah.
Fine.
He's making me jealous with that food coma what you had. He had the works. All right, so that is up and almost away. Up and away we go. Just trying to hide a little. That's fine. The screen's dangling a little over my face, but I got the top 10 in my preview window, and when you are ready, Fallen, I will pop them up onto the window on the right.
Hold on. Why does it not show? Oh, we're.
Did you refresh it?
No, that's what I was saying. I said I gotta refresh. I gotta refresh it. I'm like, wait, what? It looks so different. Okay.
Yeah. Oh boy, it does look different from a week ago.
Niche. There we go. Okay, I have it up.
All right, ready to announce who is our number 1 seed of the niche division.
All right, coming in at number 1 with 1,823 votes, we've got Gran from the Furry VN Limits.
This was impressive because they had quite a run with our number 2 seed, who is
Roderick with a lovely vote, a very close vote of 1,815 from the Furry VN, from the Furry Visual Novel once again, Limits.
Indeed. They were back and forth over the past week or so. So that one was
very close.
Indeed. And I'll let you continue on with the rest of the top 5. Oh shoot. I'll say something once we get to it, but yeah, continue with the top 5. I'll try not to interrupt too much.
Number 3, again, a very close call. We got Filio. Is that how you say it? Filio.
Yep, I think so. It looks like it.
We have Filio with a vote count of 1,800, only 15 behind number 2, from the furry visual novel A Place to Call Home.
Yep. And then we got an interesting scenario for number 4. Take it away.
Number 4 is a very interesting one. For the first time, we have a tied spot for number 4 with Mike Steele with a vote of 1,715 from the furry visual novel Distant Travels, tied with Norman with 1,715 votes from the furry visual novel Limits.
This is going to be interesting. So I have shown now the top 5 on my window, my Firefox, Chrome, whatever I'm using window. And so we are going to break that tie right now. Are y'all ready?
With Excel spreadsheets.
Woo! The power of spreadsheets. All right, so in our tiebreaker system, this is a fun little thing that I did, kind of inspired based off the Eurovision Song Contest, is that since we have a 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1 number of votes, the first rule of our tiebreaker is whoever got the most non-zero votes, meaning they got 1 or more points from people, whoever has the most amount of the people that actually voted for them will win the tiebreaker. If there is still a tie, then we'll do the descending system of most number of 7s, most number of 6s, 5s, 4s, 3s, 2s, and then 1s. Boy, am I getting that song contest feel back. Alright, let us see if there is a difference in the number of non-zero votes for Norm and Mike Steele. Yes, sirree, we do. And we seem to have a pretty close one. A 7-vote difference. Coming in with 324 actual votes, or non-zero votes, is Norman from Limits. So Norman will take our number 4 seed, while Mike Steele takes the number 5. I am hard coding that into the Excel sheet to mention as a tiebreaker. Alright. Now that is fixed. Unfortunately, we did not have a more suspenseful tiebreak, so I'm going to hide that. And let us carry on with the remaining top 10. Got that on hand?
I do have it on hand. Oh,
perfect, because I kind of hid it for the committee by accident.
All right. So now then we have.
Don't worry.
So now we would be moving on to number 6, right?
Yep, indeed.
Okay. I was making sure.
No worries. I just need to make sure I have it on my other window.
Yeah, that's fine.
The results are accurate, I swear. I am a good judge.
So now, unfortunately, after number 4, the rest of the people no longer get medals, but they will, the top 10, all of them get their wonderful participation badges. So these guys will still get their participation badges up to number 10.
Well, they're still in the bracket. They could still win the actual bracket medal.
But
the honorary prelim medal. I get what you mean.
Alright, coming in at number 6 is coming in with a lovely vote of 1,683 is Dave from the furry visual novel Limits. Again, Limits is pretty high on this list.
God bless our limits. And know them. Make sure to know your limits.
And then we have number 7 with John Maddox from the furry visual novel Distant Travels with a wonderful vote of 1,633.
Good. And number 8 is... Oh, go ahead. Meant to lead you up there.
Did you wanna lead it up? You can lead it up.
Oh, no. Just that one time I just wanted to try something new. I'm giving you the slam dunk.
Oh, you're giving me the slam dunk. Okay.
Here you go. Here's the alley-oop. The sports.
I caught the ball. We're good.
This is based off a basketball bracket, so kind of in theme.
I didn't drop the ball like I usually do, so we're fine.
All right.
Okay. Coming in at number 8 is Pierre. I think I said that right. Pierre from the furry visual novel once again, Limits, which is pretty high on this list, with a vote count of 1,603.
Nice. And now to round out the top 10, hit it away.
Number 9 is Leo. Unfortunately, not that Leo, which I would love it to be, but it's okay. This Leo is from the furry visual novel A Place to Call Home with a very, very, very narrow vote of 1,602, which is only literally one vote away from a tiebreak.
It's crazy. I don't think I've seen a 1 vote when I was skimming through any of the results so far. Maybe there is, but when I would normally check, the 1 points like this really didn't come by the end when we got tons of votes in. So that's good.
Really
It's
impressive.
not just
One
a
vote.
1 vote, it's a 1
Points, I guess.
Well, 1 point.
I keep calling them votes by accident. But the points
I just keep calling them votes too. You're making me call them votes. It's like votes. So.
Points. I should say points. They're points.
Points. Okay, fine.
This is all wrong. This is all.
All wrong. Yeah, we have to shut down the stream tonight.
Yeah, we have to restart the
You
whole
failed the one
bracket.
mission.
No.
This is what happens when we do this is what happens when we do non-pre-recorded streams.
Right.
We mess up everything. I
Yeah.
swear.
The last time I've had Fallen and Grizz on the stream with me, it went so well, right?
It did go well.
It actually did, though.
Yeah, that was great.
I say it went pretty well, honestly.
Yeah, yeah.
I was excited. I was,
But-
it was, I think you guys did pretty well exerting yourselves.
All right. All right. Let's finish out the top 10, and then we can continue
Let's
with
finish
the top 20.
Finish what we started.
Yeah.
finish out with number 10 on the top 10 is Ramus from the furry visual novel In Case of Emergency with a point of 1,517. A little lower than number 9, not as quite as close as 9 and 8, but still pretty high up there.
But it's okay. So now I'm going to hide the window temporarily and expand to our top 20. So we're going to speed run a little more so through the top 20 and then give a little more suspense as we get to the top 32.
Yeah, well,
All right. Are you ready for 11 through 20?
12, 20. I am ready.
All right.
You ready?
Take it away.
All right. Coming in at number 11 is Kobu from the furry visual novel Where the Demon Lurks. Then we've got number 12, Wes from the furry visual novel In Case of Emergency. Also leading up with 13. Also,
Hey, we'll do it live.
Also, right underneath that is another character from In Case of Emergency, Cedric. Then number 14, we have another character from Where the Demon Lurks with Toast. Then number 15, we're coming back with our limits with Jacob. 16 is Ed from A Place to Call Home. Also with 17, Iroko from London's Aesop.
Interesting.
With 18, a very interesting furry visual novel, small on top, is Wolfric.
Yeah, that was like one of the original candidates from like 2020, and still the only one from
Yes,
their
it
novel. I'm shocked
It's been
nobody.
a long time. I was surprised to see this visual novel pop up again.
Yeah, some of them you just don't realize. But speaking of unexpected novels, who's in number 19?
Number 19 is Alan from Blackgate, one of the original, in my opinion, furry visual novels.
Yep.
And ending up with the spot of number 20 is Spencer, the MC from 922.
Awesome. I forgot to pop that in there. Cool. There we go. So that rounds out our top 20. So what is going to happen now? Well, we're going to have quite a suspenseful final 12 here. I am not going to show the final 12 until all 32 have been announced, or all last 12 or whatever is the case. All up to the top 32 have been announced. So, who are the remaining candidates that have made the bracket? Let's find out.
Let's see here. Coming in at 21 is Luke from the furry visual novel In Case of Emergency, followed by Chris from Santa Luca.
Santa Lucia?
And then Santa Lucia, is that how you say it?
Yeah, I think
Okay,
Vivian
Santa
said it like
Lucia.
that.
Santa Lucia. Okay, well, Santa Lucia.
I've said
haven't played it,
Lucia.
unfortunately.
There's like so many different ways you could say it. But hey, if the creators are here, come in and join us and yell at us.
Yeah. Followed by another Santa Lucia character, Carlos, at spot 23. Followed by another character from Santa Lucia, Brian, at number 24. But then we move on to a different VN with number 25, Goulash. Is that how you say it?
Goulash? I think it's Goulash.
Goulash, there you go. Goulash from the furry visual novel Notes of Heart. Then we have 26, a surprising spot, Brimer from
Right.
IDV. Brimer?
I think I'm gonna have a tough time with that one too. Don't.
No, it's okay. Okay.
You'll see it. You'll know the name, but yeah.
I mean, I always pronounced it Briamore from
Briamore?
Identity,
Brian.
but that's probably not how you pronounce it.
Yeah.
Eh, let us know in the chat. You can
Yeah.
feel free to correct us there.
Correct us, right? And then number 27, another Santa Lucia character, Nate, followed by number 28, Shay from ICO, which is I'm surprised he's not higher up on this list, actually, honestly.
I was surprised too. Again, a lot
Then we
changed in the
have,
week.
yeah, that's true. A lot changes with these votes in the following day. The closer it gets, the more frantic the votes get.
Mm-hmm.
Then we got Neris from the aforementioned furry visual novel Neris.
Exactly.
Number 30 is Sydney from the furry visual novel The Human Heart.
And I'm going to stop you
in-
there as we have our
Ooh.
final two. I am going
Final
to
two.
slowly make sure it doesn't get spoiled. Who else? Oh no. Okay, I thought my window stopped. The suspense. It's killing me. All right. Go ahead. Who are the final two? And feel free to announce the number of votes, because this, between our 31st and 34th seeds, was only a 12-point difference. And between 32 and 33 was only 3 points.
Ooh, that's a very close one. Coming in at number 31 with only a 5-point difference from being tied for number 32 is Oscar Castle from Violet Memoir.
Indeed.
And followed by, once again, a very, very close vote. At number 32 is Koshiro from Kingsguard.
And that is our top 32. This is who has made the bracket, as you can see live. And I will expand the window for our honorable mentions here, the rest. You can access this online with the link I had posted earlier on Twitter. I think I'll repost it again, but here are the rest. Unfortunately, want to give some honorable mentions? I'm sorry I'm taking it away from you. You can just announce a couple or whatever.
Oh, it's fine, it's fine.
Plus, the program's probably going to be linked in the description anyways.
I need to do a better job at that. Anyway.
Yeah, and there's also like the timestamp function that lets you see the results as they were coming in.
Exactly.
Originally.
I was going to do
Turns out Limits was always popular.
Yeah, you can kind of see that. Yeah, but I was going to animate this, but unfortunately there's too much stuff and it crashed.
Yeah, we would be. Oh my gosh, I'm not surprised.
We'd
I give
be
you
here all
credit.
day.
That would have been. Yeah, we'd be here all day.
At least
Yeah, I think it'd take a long time, honestly.
yeah,
We have not reached the. We have not quite yet reached the pinnacle of YouTube streaming enough to buy like the $3,000 like setups.
right.
Guys.
Sorry, but at least the matches themselves will be animated, like the bar graphs will. So don't worry, there will be pretty pictures.
We're innovating as best we possibly can each year.
Exactly. We try and get better each year.
Yeah.
All right. So I guess I'll quickly run over our honorable mentions then, just so we can kind of move on to the middle division. Sally from Limits was the one who was 3 votes short, unfortunately. She was going to be our only female identifying character in the top 32 and just got edged out by Koshiro. So kind of rough there, but... And then another Kingsguard character also got edged out, Leandros, by 7 votes. Then Lucas Brenly, Gil from ICO, who had made it last year in a wildcard match. Then Gruff and Kurt, and you can keep scrolling down from there if you so desire. Once again, the link, I will post it eventually, I swear. All right. Now I'm going to hide this again. The bracket, or the poll results, are hidden. I'm going to switch things over to the middleweight division and hand things over to Grizz, who will start out with our top 5. Would you like to do the same as well and kind of start slow and then go faster?
Oh, we can do that, yeah. It's some interesting names in here. I've been taking a look at the whole thing myself.
Right.
But to start off the middleweight division, In first place, with 2,901 votes. From Lyre, it's Lyle.
Hooray.
And not too much of a surprise in second place, but there's quite a gap between second and first here. I'm quite surprised by that.
Mhm.
But from Eden's Reach, we have Oswald with 2,661 votes.
Honestly, that one was pretty close early on, but Lyle really took it away at the end there. So I'm curious to see if they match up in the finals or whatnot, how that's going to look. Don't you think?
Yeah, it's going to be interesting to see how they change as we go through this, definitely.
Yeah. Nobody is safe in a bracket. Anybody can upset anybody. Anyway, who are the rest?
In third position, also from Eden's Reach, with 2,164 votes, we have Max. Fourth place, a change in visual novels here from Silio Tales of a New Dawn. It's Ty, who came in with 2,163.
Oh my goodness. We almost had another
Very,
tie
very
break.
close.
Yeah.
Yeah, one vote in it.
Yeah.
And rounding off the top five, from one I don't actually know, Temptations Ballad.
Oh,
With 2,150 votes, it's Marrow.
wow. What a strong looking top five, if I say so myself. Any thoughts on these characters? I probably should have done this with the niche division beforehand, but we can always discuss them
Temptation-
afterwards.
I have to say, I'm very surprised that Marrow is not a little higher on this list. I didn't think he'd be
Oh.
number one, but I thought maybe in the top three.
Oh, I was shocked at how high he got in general, but then again, I knew like Temptations Ballad would definitely be a very
wait,
good
I'm-
contender.
Yeah.
Oh, are you
I
thinking
don't know
of
where
a
it
different
came from.
character?
I'm thinking about Cole.
Okay.
Cole's number.
Well,
I
don't
was thinking
say
about Cole.
don't say
No,
what
I won't,
if they
I
made it or
won't.
not.
I won't. I was thinking of Cole, and then I realized that I'm looking and I'm like, wait a minute, he looks too tall and muscular. Then like, wait a minute, not the wrong character.
Yep. All right. So now let's go on with the top 10. Who is it?
Okay, and moving into sixth place, it's one of those names that annoys me because I'm Welsh and I don't know how it's supposed to be pronounced if you're not Welsh. With 2,145 votes, also from Temptations Ballad, is Sid, or maybe Sid.
Sid. Yep.
Short for Sydney? Question mark.
It is a.
If you are
I'm sorry I have to say this, but it is a hard D.
okay, being Welsh, a double D is a total different pronunciation.
Oh,
so that's
no.
what throws me off on these ones.
Didn't know that. All right.
Oh, wow. Blythe is a good example.
Oh,
Of that.
lied. Oh, it's not a hard D. I kept saying lied all the time. Lied.
Oh, I never mind. Anyway, getting back to what we should be talking about in March Madness.
Yep.
Number 7 from Knights College is Diederich with 2,135 votes.
Nice.
Very close to three again. And for 8th position, we're back to Temptations Ballad again. 2,109 people voted for Hamish.
Awesome.
And in 9th position, it's Diego from Silio Tales of a New Dawn. 2,104 votes. And rounding off the top 10, from Temptations Ballad, with 2,093 votes, it's Cole.
Wow. That is great. I didn't realize how big this screen is above me. Unfortunately, it's kind of taking over my head. So I'm going to quickly move it up a little bit if y'all don't mind. If y'all don't mind me here, I am just adjusting the March Madness screen to, of course, keep everybody in suspense. But thank you for the lovely top 10 reading.
Just look at that point difference between Max and Ty versus Oswald and Max.
It's like
Yeah.
crazy, man. Didn't expect that to be that far. I mean, Oswald was leading for a good amount of time. But let us carry on to the remaining 20. Feel free to read them off. I am just going to scroll right and just show them.
Okay, so in 11th place, 2013 votes, is Axel from Remember the Flowers. First entry from that VN. And following right behind him, also from Remember the Flowers, in 12th place, Cooper has 1,987 votes. In 13th, it's Rune from Shelter, 1,951 votes for Rune. And then in 14th place, the man who really knows his T's. It's Devon from Dawn Chorus with 1,917 votes.
Yep.
Close behind Devon, in 15th place, 1,914 votes is Volga from Chemo Coliseum. A couple of close matches there.
Indeed.
And 16 is, another one to pronounce, Alon
That's
from
my guess.
Shelter. 1,882 votes. Another Shelter representative in 17th place is Burry with 1,877 votes. Number 18 is the MC from Knights College, Argo, 1,835 votes. And 19th place we have Artemy from Temptations Ballad, fairly close behind Argo there with 1,827. And then rounding off the top 20, it's the MC, Adrian from Silio Tales of a New Dawn, with 1,819 votes.
That one was kind of shocking for me because he was on the fringe for a while and he really battled his way up at the end. So, congratulations to Adrian. And for anybody who is curious and actually wants to see the little details, the timestamp updates, you can even see the pronouns and stuff on them. Oh, I did not mean to do that. That is another thing I can mention later. But now we are going to hide it. The screen goes black. We cue the lights, and we announce the remaining 12 that have made the bracket. No ties, but we have a close race. Are you ready to announce the remaining 12?
Yes, there's some very close numbers in here. So let's get going with them.
Indeed.
In spot number 21, from Temptations Ballad, we have Ilia, or possibly Ilia, with 1,818 votes.
Interesting.
With 1,816 votes from Dawn Chorus, it's Rune.
Yeah.
Number 23 is another close one, 1,815 votes.
Ooh.
Grantley from Knights College.
Indeed, what a close race between those three.
Yeah, just a few in it.
Very close.
And coming in 24th place, an older character in terms of how long he's been around, from Morinatsu. It's Torihiko with 1,809 votes. Following Torihiko in 25th place is Owen from Repeat, 1,797 votes.
All right.
Then in 26th place, it's our first person from Pervader, Jimsar, 1,791 votes.
Oof, close.
27th is more from Silio Tales of a New Dawn. We have Logan, who came in just one vote behind with 1,790.
Impressive.
So close here. In 28th position from Knights College, we have Theo, 1,777 votes.
And I am going to stop you there. The screen shows the, well, top 28, kinda. Now it's going to show, at least in that final column, everybody up to 28th. Now we are going to slowly go through the final 4 who made it. Are you ready?
I'm ready. Let's find out who's there.
Let's do it.
Oh, 29th place with 1,775 votes from Tavern of Spear. It's Haken.
Interesting. A lot of shifting in the votes.
Yeah, it's just 6 votes behind. 1,769 votes is 30th position. From Knights College, it's Oscar.
Impressive. That ends with a funny number.
And then just 3 votes behind Oscar. He's so close. Yes, 1,766 votes. For 31st position, from Tavern of Spear, we have Ivind.
Ooh, look at that. All right, who's it gonna be now? A final person.
The last person to make it into this bracket, number 32. He came in with 1,748 votes. He's from Sadio Tales for New Dawn. And it's Dom.
Oh my goodness. Congrats to him, and what a close race here. I'm going to expand so you can see the rest of who just missed out as I will change up as I reorganize the seating here to make sure everything's in nice and fair order. Yep.
Man, wouldn't it be funny if both runes in this bracket ended up going up against each other first?
Right. That would be. The bracket would be ruined.
Wait. Oh, okay.
Are you gonna
It
look
was
over?
close to happening.
No. Well, I'll have to show the bracket once we are done with it. The heavyweight announcement, but oof. It will be interesting to see how the brackets play out, because it is a top-down seeding where the best seed plays the worst seed, second places 31st, etc., etc. We'll show you once we get the bracket, but it will be exciting, some of these matchups. And we may have to...
The rest of the people, I'm just looking over the rest and have to give a quick mention to Angus here.
Mhm.
Just 10 votes meant he missed out.
Yeah, it's just too close.
And a special mention also to the guy who came in 37th place with 1,721 votes, not that far behind Marcus.
Oh my god.
You're so close, Marcus.
Oh, don't have to show him off. He'd be way too shy to have any bragging rights over him, and even me as the creator. I was kind of like, mixed emotions if my characters would make the bracket or not. I do not want to push my own novel, but it is nice to see the appreciation wherever.
Yeah,
Also, I guess F in the chat for Miko falling off the cutoff.
Gosh, I have to say now, I'm so saddened by that. I was really rooting for Miko, but hey, that's just my bias. There are also many candidates in the bracket that I do like. And yeah, that will be exciting to see. And we'll see what their matches are in a bit after we look at the heavyweight top 32. I'm going to dim the screen again, turn off the window, and go back to the start. We are doing the heavyweight division. This is going to be my bread and butter now to do, it's all of our bread and butter since we all have played these novels before. I think we can agree on that. And so we are going to start with our top 5. I'm going to bring them in slowly but steadily, making sure there is no mix-ups or mess-ups or any of that. Here we go. We have, in first place, from Adastra with 2,833 points, they are points, I swear. It's Neferu. Now we move on to the second with 2,717 votes from far beyond the world. It is Volgor. There we go. Those are our top 2, and I will slowly continue down with number 3. Number 3, from the Smoke Room with 2,654 votes, is William. Quite a shift between this top 3, actually, up until today. But hey, you can never call it until it's finally over, or whatever the phrase is. It's probably some outdated, antiquated reference about somebody singing.
For the first time in forever, Lin Hu's not in third place.
I'm kind of shocked about that. But let's see who's in 4th and 5th. In 4th place, with 2,559 votes, there is a lot bigger of a disparity between our top 4, is Lin Hu from Nekajishi. Surprised you would say that. But now we go on to 5th place. This man is from Socially Awkward. 2,487 points. It is Macon, and and your suspense and disbelief has gone awry. My apologies there for that. You kind of saw who the next two would be, but fear not, I will still say them in suspenseful fashion. So this is our top 5. Neferu, Volgor, William, Lin Hu, and Macon. Alright, I am excited to announce these next 4 or 5. Yeah, 5. Yep, I'm going to announce these next 5, and they are definitely interesting characters in their own right. I've seen each of them and have some interest in all of them. Not like I don't have any interest in the top 5 already, so... But here we go. In 6th place, 6th seed, 2,434 points. It is... From After Class, we have Lars. Here we go. In 7th place, we have a close race for 7th, but the person who advanced ahead in the race with 2,403 votes. From Socially Awkward, it is Tom. Now, who is the person that fell just short in the race for 7th place, you may ask? Well, coming just shy of the 2,400 mark with 2,399 points. It is Shuichi from Tennis Ace.
Ooh, a good one. That's a good one.
This is a good top 8, if I do say so myself. But we do have some really good underdogs and competitors to really catch up with them. Some I was really
a lot of
shocked by.
returning top 8s.
Yeah, a lot of returning top 8s indeed. Lars is a new one, I think. I think Tom was a little bit lower before. But yeah, we definitely have some familiar faces. Neferu, Volgor, William, Lin Hu, Macon, and Shuichi. But actually, no, William was maybe lower than that. I don't remember. He was pretty high relatively, I think, in previous years. But...
So was Lars.
Yeah, I think... Was he? Man, I'm forgetting. But hey, let us continue on to the next group. We are going to speed racer through these 11 through 12... Oh, no, I haven't done 9 and 10 yet. We gotta do them first. Well, we have 2 characters from the same story. And, ooh, it is a 1-point difference for 9th place. This is a toughie. Here we go. With 2,340 votes. For 9th place, from the Smoke Room, we have Nikolai. And you may wonder, who was 1 point behind him from the Smoke Room? Let us find out. I am looking at the wrong camera. This is the right camera. Here we go. In 10th, 2,339 points. It is Samuel from the Smoke Room.
You guys really like your big buff guys, don't you?
No bias. Oh, man.
Wow, what gave it away?
I'm shocked. But don't worry, we may get a mix of characters in the remaining parts. I'm not going to spoil anything, but we do have some variety, I would say, throughout the remaining 22 or so that still need to be announced. We are going to fast forward through 11 through 20. Here is the speed run of who made it in the middle of the pack. In 11th place, from far beyond the world, 2,310 points, it is Vither. Now, we got in 12th place from After Class, 2,302 points, Coach Gill, with his highest ranking yet. And now we move on to another character who I don't think had a high ranking in the past? He may have. Trying to remember, but he did have some upsets in the past. The MC from Tennis Ace, it is Yuichi with 2,282 points. Moving on to the Smoke Room, 14th seed with 2,222 points. Should have done this on Tuesday. It is Murdoch. And our first, I think this might be our... No, we already did see female representation. We did have at least 1 or 2 women in the middleweight division. But our first woman in the heavyweight division, 15th seeded Varissa from Far Beyond the World with 2,214 votes. And not too far behind to round out our top half of the bracket in 16th place. 2,210 votes also from Nekajishi, Likalao. So that is our top half of the bracket, and to quickly round out the remaining top 20, in 17th, starting out the second half of the bracket, Tano from Far Beyond the World with 2,196 points. And if we had not given anything away earlier, I didn't mean to say it like that, but we did have some hints earlier that we would have another Leo in the top 32, but this time in the heavyweight division, Leo from Echo is our 18th seed with 2,176 points, whatever they're called, numbers. Oh man, this is gonna get too mind-boggling. Please bonk me on the head if I say votes again. Votes are for the bracket, not the selection. Alright. Ooh, we have a close one between two wolf boys. Or, well, one's a wolf, one's a husky, and one doesn't like being called a dog. Well, the wolf character, at least. In 19th, with 2,155 points. From Password, we have Tyson. Now, to conclude the top 20, just behind with 2,154 points. From extracurricular activities from EA, we'll probably say in the future, to make it short, Spencer. And that concludes... Oh no! The bracket is suddenly reloading. I don't know what happened there, but luckily nothing went wrong.
It needed to hold up the suspense for whatever may come next, I suppose.
Exactly. And oh boy, this remaining 12 is quite suspenseful. Once we get to the 32nd seed, it was only a 3-point difference. You may bonk me now. And thanks, Koro, for clarifying. I'm just being inconsistent. But yes, we do have some disparity at the upper part of this remaining 12, but I'm going to do a little hiding here and turn off the frame, the thing. We are dimming the lights. Now, we go on to who's 21st. In the 21st seed, with 2,113 votes. From Socially Awkward, it is the MC, also known as Jace. And right behind him, with 2,101 votes, another MC character, this time from Afterclass, it is Walter. And behind that, a third MC in a row. And that will be the final MC in this streak of MCs. Maybe there will be some besides this, but that's the 3 in a row that we have. After that, the trend breaks. But our third MC in a row in the 23rd seed with 2,058 points. 2,058 points. From Password, it is Dave. And now to round out the top 24, we are 3/4 of the way through this bracket. 2,047 points. From Echo, it is Kudzu. And we can see that for quick reference. These are the 4 that have made it so far. You can kind of see it. You can even see their little details if you check out the bracket later on yourself. Now, let us continue on. Who are the remaining candidates that have made the bracket? Let us find out. 25th and onwards. We got quite a silence falling on our committee from this. It seems like everybody's really in suspense. But let us continue. In 25th, with 2,032 points. 2,032 point vote things. From After Class, it is Parker, also known as Mr. Stone. Let us continue forward. Not too far behind, only 2 votes less, with 2,030 points. They are not votes. You probably think I'm making this as a joke, but I am legit just mixing up the things in my head. And I apologize. But with 2,030 points, the 26th seed from Arches is Devin. Uh-oh, something froze there. There we go. Devin from Arches, here we go. Now we only have 6 candidates remaining. Who are our final 6? All of these candidates were really in and out of it throughout the history of the voting, and some were surprise comebacks, I would say, myself. All right, let's take a breather. In the 27th seed, from the Smoke Room, with 2,008 votes. He is not 2,000 and late, though. It is Yao. Once again, Yao from the Smoke Room. Now to continue on. From Tennis Ace. 1,982 points. Our 28th seed is June. Here we go. 4 more. Who can it be? With 1,972 points. Also from the Smoke Room. It is Cliff, also known as Clifford. Here we go. 3 remaining. Not too far behind, actually, and this character did have a scare. They were one of the only candidates to be in safe spot for the top 32, only to nearly be knocked out within the final few days. But they have come clawing back to make sure they have maintained the seed. Earlier today, they were the 32nd seed, but they have advanced to the 30th seed. With 1,970 votes. Our 30th seed is Asterion from Minotaur Hotel. I was quite shocked with that result. But nonetheless, we continue on. Who are the final 2 to make it? Our last 2. With 1,963 votes, our 31st seed is just a silly little guy. It is Todd from the Smoke Room. Oh, man. I am really sweating who this 32nd seed is going to be. I know, but for the sake of suspense, man, this was close between these 2. And even the other 2 that tied for 34th, actually. Really, really close race. A hint here. They are all from the Echo Project. Not like that will give too much away in terms of the heavyweight bracket with how many stories they have on here. But we have a very close 3-vote difference to see who made the 32nd seed and to round out the bracket with 1,950 55 votes. He is Scipio from Chemia. And that concludes our top 32 and who's made the bracket throughout all the different divisions. Luckily, we've only had one tie throughout this entire bracket thing so far. And here are the honorable mentions. So, wow.
Just look at that echo arches.
I can't believe it. And just think 3 echoes in a row were like just out of the bracket. It's amazing. But all our
Carl Flynn, TJ, you will be missed.
rip, indeed. But even our lower candidates, all but 2 of them passed the 1,000 mark. I wonder who the 2 that didn't pass it were.
Not surprising they didn't, I have to say.
Right. I kind of agree there. And it might be the last year that some of these characters are on the bracket, because next year the rule that I have is that the candidates have to be from an active novel within the past year. Meaning that next year, only candidates whose stories have not gone on a hiatus or been... Or, well, let me say it this way. Candidates whose stories have been finished or went on hiatus since 2021 and earlier will be ineligible for next year's bracket. Then it would be 2022 and earlier for the following year, etc., etc. This year we gave a little bit of a generous leaning room to like the whole decade so far, 2020 and onwards. But next year, those 2020 and 2021 visual novels, unfortunately, will not be eligible. If the character is in a story that is still running or is not from that earlier time period, then they are still eligible. So a character from Adastra can still be eligible if they're in Chemia or, well, in Terria, which is the ongoing one. So that's just a little brief explanation, just so people don't get shocked next year. And y'all may be wondering, where's Amicus? Where's Rannoch? Where are these people?
Same place Amicus was last year.
Exactly. So if you open up the bracket here and show all candidates, including our disqualified candidates, they will be appearing in the Champions contest, which will take place after all the brackets have concluded. So if they were included, they would have taken the top 2 spots by far. With 3,200.
Because of course they do.
Right, of course.
I like to think of them like the competitive Pokemon type standpoint, where you have all these Pokemon that you're able to use. Then you have these 2 that are like, oh no, we can't let you guys use them.
They're like
You'll automatically win.
They are the Giratina and Arceus of the bracket.
Right?
Seriously, oh my gosh, playing Legends Arceus really made me think about that. But yep, they will be seen next time in the Champions bracket, along with all the champions from this year's brackets. Plus, last year's best girl, Verissa, who was technically a champion last year, but since she was not so far ahead of everybody, we are still including her, since she seems like fair competition, but we may change the ruling on that in the future with our past champions. We'll figure that out later on, but y'all want to see the bracket, don't you? I'm sure you all do. Well, let me just pull that up for you. I'm going to duplicate this window and bring it to the streaming window. Get back here, you...
They're gonna have some wonky matchups, can't wait.
Yeah, but if 2 candidates from the same story are facing each other in the same round, we will have to do a little switch up. So there is that. So we could start out with, you know what, screw it. Fallen Wolf can take it away with the niche division, and we can give a little breakdown or thoughts on each of the matches if we want. So, mind doing it for us? And I will add photos here once I get done with the stream.
Oh, here we go. Okay. I'll have to use your image,
Ooh.
I suppose.
Yeah. Well, it's not like we were keeping anything in suspense now, but
No.
because we know who made it. But yeah, let's see who's in it, and if we want, give our 2 cents on it.
First up, it looks like so we have Gran versus Koshiro from Kingsguard. Now, then we have.
I'm gonna zoom out a
Then
tad.
we have.
There, just so we have the full
There we go.
quadrant.
go.
There we go. Is it too small?
No, I can read it fine.
Perfect.
Then we have. Next match is Aroko from London's Aesop along fighting versus Ed from A Place to Call Home. Then we have the next match, which is Leo from A Place to Call Home versus Brian from Lucia. Is that how we said it?
You got it.
Lucia?
Yeah.
Lucia?
Tricky one. Don't worry. It stumps
Yeah, I know.
many
It's
people. Oh man.
And then, well, not lastly, but then the next one is Goulash.
Goulash. It's a tricky one.
Goulash.
I think it's based on like a food or something because I never heard of that
Okay.
food before.
Goulash. I've heard the name. I've heard the food name before.
Oh.
I think goulash sounds like. I think it sounds familiar.
I hadn't heard it
Goulash
until I played the
from
game.
Yeah, I heard. I think I've heard it before. It sounds very familiar for me, at least.
Mhm.
Goulash from Notes of Heart versus Pier from Lemons.
Okay, this is
Goulash is a soup.
interesting. Goulash is a soup? Huh.
Yeah.
That's what it is. Okay, that
Cool.
explains it. I was like, I know it sounds very familiar.
Yeah, yeah. Any thoughts on this quadrant? Because I'm doing this in quadrants.
Ooh. And quadrants.
So, what do you think about quadrant 1 over here, our top left one? Any favors? Any underdogs?
I'll be honest.
Let me.
I haven't played like A Place to Call Home
mm,
or Notes of Heart.
well,
So like,
Aw.
or Kingsguards. I don't know
Kingsguard.
half the people.
Kingsguard, I do recognize. Don't think I played it myself. I'm trying to remember who I watched play it. I remember I
think-
watched somebody play.
I know Vivian plays it, so I heard that she really liked it. Besides that,
Okay.
I haven't played it. Vivian plays
Maybe
Kingsguard?
that's what. Maybe that's who I'm thinking about. I know it was a little bit ago.
Mhm.
Heads up for you guys. Well, just anybody watching this in general. I haven't been keeping up too much with furry visual novels. Not because I haven't wanted to, just because I've been working and just. There's so many now. When I first started my channel about a little over 2 years ago, there was already a lot of furry visual novels, but now there's like an overabundance. There's so many that it's so hard to keep track of every single one.
Oh man,
So-
I remember when it was smaller, like a smaller community. I was worried it could like fall out, or maybe maybe it would just not like age out, but become more obscure. But nope, it's done the opposite. I'm quite glad we got
Yes,
quite
it
the
has.
community. But yeah, any thoughts on who you think, or Grizz, or Bob, or Koro, on who you think would be the big contenders in this bracket, or this part of the bracket?
Like yes, I haven't actually read A Place Called to Call Home myself, so I can't comment on those characters.
No worries, we all know who we haven't played, but the ones you do know, who do you think?
So I think Gran's going to be probably the one to beat, apart from being the top seed. I can see him being very popular. Iroko is a very nice character. I think he could do well.
Okay.
And I think Pierre Oppenheimer, Destroyer of Worlds.
Yes, the one who rides the
Oh,
ostrich. He can be a
Yeah.
What?
contender.
He could be quite a contender, I think.
Mhm.
I mean, he sounds amazing in the videos that Shin has done. I have to
Oh
say.
god, you're shilling me again. Stop.
Someone has to.
Yeah, someone has to play the part. But
Grizz there, honestly. I know Grizz on there. Just like from what I know of these characters, I personally think that from what North Grizz says is probably going to be true, in my opinion. I like to see how this all will turn out, of course,
Mhm.
but
we could.
I definitely would think that out of all of them, from what I've seen thus far, Gran might probably be the one that takes the lead.
Mhm.
If not, gets very far in this bracket.
Right. He does have a good like potential and contention, but yeah, I definitely can see Pierre possibly being an upset, and yeah, maybe even Hiroko. I haven't played much of that. I know Goulash is definitely a character I liked when I played Notes of Hearts for the time I played it. So who knows? We cannot call it certain, but we do have our ones who we see as potential favors.
We
Fallen.
like a Superman.
Yeah, exactly. All right, Fallen. Let's continue with the bottom left quadrant.
Bottom left. So we have Luke from in.
Uh-oh.
So wrong one.
Oh no.
I see
There's a conflict like right below the first match. But we'll address that once after you mention the first match.
I see it.
Yep.
Okay, so top left. So next we also have Mike Steele from Distant Travels, who is going up against Shay from ICO. ICO, I believe, is a pretty popular furry visual novel for you, Dirk. I've heard a lot of heard you mention it quite a few times.
It's a great novel. Cetus does a great job, and he is supposedly doing some revamping on the art too. And recently, he did one of the main character. Looks nice. Let's just say thick.
Oh yeah. I was seeing. We've been talking a lot recently, and
Yeah.
he is doing his best to revamp and do a lot of concept art of a lot of different things in the game.
Yeah.
And he's often asking for help and advice from a Discord that we share for any input that he might make it better and such. He's doing his best.
He's
to
doing
improve
great.
Everything apart.
Oh man,
Yeah.
Him and his team with like Codiopolis too. Forget if there's anybody else that helps, but yeah, I mean, ICO definitely a novel we recommend, but also Distant Travels I have a soft spot for too. So it is so hard for me to choose that match. But what I'm going to do before you announce this next match, Fallen, is check to see. With this rule that I have is if two characters are from the same VN, I have to check the seed above and below them to see if I switch them up with the other seed, would there still be a conflict?
Oh, jeez.
So,
Okay.
above 21 is 20. That would be Spencer, the MC, but unfortunately their opponent is from In Case of Emergency, so we cannot switch them there. Let's check the 22nd seed. 22nd seed is on the other side, which I'll not reveal just yet, but I do have on my spreadsheet, my fancy schmancy spreadsheet. Okay, Santa Lucia. Let me see. 12 and 21. The opponent would then be 11 and 22. Oh no, I could just look at the bracket from my other window. Haha, y'all can't see it. So, okay. The both characters from the other match with Santa Lucia character in it are not from In Case of Emergency, so we can do the switch. A transplant will be made. So, going back to the niche selection results, 21 and 22 are going to be switched. Conflicting match is the reason. And I'm going to reorganize that. And you should see the change now. Wait a minute. There we go. All right, take it away. Oh, you there, Fall?
I am here.
Awesome.
Oh, sorry.
You're ready. I mean, you're good to go. Sorry.
You're good to go.
Yeah. Yes, yeah.
Okay, so now instead we have, like we said, Chris from Santa Lucia going up against Wes from In Case of Emergency.
Had to switch it up a little.
Yeah, we had to change it, but that's fine. Changes happen. That's
All
always
right.
the thing.
I don't like change.
I don't either.
All right. Yeah. But anyway, who's next?
Next up is Cedric from In Case of Emergency once again, but this time they are going up against Spencer from 922, which is a slowly growing furry visual novel, so I hear.
I need to check that out because the people who have played it that have told me they love it. But I
Me
bet in
too.
case of emergency would be maybe similar to. I don't want to like poo-poo the other story. No bias here, but yes, 922. I've heard potential.
Then finally we have Neris from the aforementioned Neris again.
Bit self-serving.
Versus Norman from Limits.
Great. Oh man, I when we were talking about FVN Shin has played Neris, like at least from what I recall him saying, and he said he really liked it. So Neris does sound like a good contender with Limits then, which he has also played and I've also played. We got our chocolate loving bear, our white bear versus our white wolf, but with 4 eyes or 6 eyes. I think Neris has an interesting character design, so you can check that out once I post the image on there. But let us scroll to the top right corner. We'll try not to take too long now with the remaining stuff. I think our whole breakdown thing may have gone a bit too long-winded, unfortunately, so we'll kind of speed through
That's
this.
fine. We'll speed it. We'll speed up for you guys,
Yeah.
and we know that you are late for some of you.
Yes.
So next we have Filio.
Yep.
Okay, not right.
You're getting it.
Filio from A Place to Call Home versus Cindy from The Human Heart. And then followed up by Alan from Blackgate versus Toast from Where the Demon Lurks. Followed by another character from Where the Demon Lurks, Kobu, going up against Luke from In Case of Emergency once again. And wrapping things up is Nate from Santa Lucia going up against Dave from Limits.
Interesting brackets. Yeah. Fortunately, I didn't comment on the other quadrant, but both of them look interesting in their own rights. And yeah, it's gonna be cool to see that. I don't recognize A Place to Call Home or Filio, unfortunately. We do have interesting possible dark horses. Blackgate being one of the more original, or one of the older, more classic novels, and then Limits. We got Dave there. So, oh, Dave is the one who makes eggs. He's the dragon character. I forgot the name because, long story short, I wasn't there when we had met Dave in the game. But yeah, we got that in case of emergency. Let's kick it off with the final quadrant. Let's see. Oof, I got something to say about this, but go ahead.
We have a John Maddox from Distant Travels versus Ramir from Identity.
Oh, that's gonna be an interesting match. But let's.
That will be. Followed by Carlos from Santa Lucia versus Ramis.
I think it's something like that. Don't worry, I've never seen the name before.
Ramis from In Case of Emergency. Next up is Jacob from Limits versus Wolfric from Small on Top. That will be an interesting one.
Wow.
And finally, Oscar Castle from Violet Memoir versus Roderick from Limit.
Ooh, 2 buff boys going against each other.
I was gonna say, I was about to say, that'll be interesting.
Oh, of course. Oh, that's gonna be interesting to see. But honestly, that besides Jacob, yeah, that whole square there is like quite buff centric. Even the characters up there, quite a buff part of the bracket. But yeah, that one's gonna be interesting. Roderick is our running name. Roderick. Yeah, I had to say it. But Roderick from Limits and John Max from Distant Travels. Those are the two I am really taking a key eye on because both of those are really heavy favorites in my books. I am shocked if they were on 2 different quadrants. I think they both have a good shot at making the top 4. But based on this, only one can, and yeah, I'm not gonna say who I think is my favorite because I don't want to swing the vote. But oof, I do have a soft spot for both of them, and yeah, looking forward to who else is on there. Yeah, so that is the niche bracket. Once again, this will also be in the dashboard thing, this thingamabob, once I update it. And it will include photos next to all these blank squares. So you get to see who's who. Now I'm going to hand it over to Grizz to announce the middleweight division.
Okay, here we go. So the first match we're going to talk about, from Lyre we have Lyle going up against Dom from Silio Tales of a New Dawn.
Oh shoot, we have another conflict below it.
Oh yes.
Yikes, this is interesting.
Okay.
Okay, I never expected a 16 and a 17 seed to have that conflict.
Yeah.
Wow. But that's not going to be too bad because the 18th seed is from a different novel. So I'm going to switch up the 17th and the 18th seed because the other 15th seed is not from Shelter. Yep, we can do this. The 17th and the 18th seed are going to switch, so here we go again. Wait, did it update? Oh, yes, it did.
Yep, I see a different name now. Okay.
Perfect.
So I think that's quick change.
Scribble
The
it out.
second match from Knights College, the MC Argo is going against Alon from Shelter.
Ooh, interesting match. I hear a lot about Knights College. A lot of fans of it here, apparently.
Definitely, yeah. I haven't played it myself, but I hear a lot of people like it.
Yeah, art looks pretty good too, and all that. Looks like a very high production. All right.
Okay, and now our third match in this quadrant. From Silio Tales of a New Dawn, Diego goes up against Morinatsu's Torihiko.
Oh, that is a toughie. Both
Yeah,
are
really
like
interesting, obviously.
both are like the MC's like closest friend, right? From what I can recall.
Yeah.
Or at least each relatively close in that matter, like childhood friends. So, that plays on one of my favorite tropes, the childhood best friend.
That's
I
going to be
love
really
that. That's a
interesting.
good
to
trope.
Oh, that's gonna be our toughest match so far in this first round.
Yeah, that's what's going to happen there. And rounding out the quadrant, Owen from Repeat goes up against Hamish from Temptation's Ballad.
Both written
I
by
find this
Shirokoi.
one. Yeah.
Yep, we got Shirokoi's boys going up against each other.
Yeah.
But yeah, Lyle is definitely our favorite here at the 1 seed, but I don't know, maybe Hamish could pull something off. Maybe Diego. I might have a feeling it could be like Diego, even Torihiko. Like that 9 and 24 seed, that is a firecracker of a spot, in my opinion. I don't know how else to describe it, but I could see them definitely pulling off upsets.
Yeah, that's going to be one to follow, definitely.
Definitely follow that match. Let's continue on with the bottom left quadrant then. Here we go.
Okay. And our first match here is Marrow from Temptation's Ballad going up against Theo from Knights College.
Nice.
And the second match in this quadrant, Ilia, also from Temptation's Ballad, goes up against Remember the Flowers Cooper.
I find this match hilarious.
I wouldn't know why, but good to know.
And then the third match, Rune from Shelter, meets up with the MC, Adrian from Silio Tales of a New Dawn.
Ooh, that's going to be a good match.
Yeah. And rounding off this quadrant, Hakan from Tavern of Spear meets up with Ty from Silio Tales of a New Dawn.
Yeah, that one's going to be a tough choice for who's going to win that. Both our 4th and 5th seed are really strong, and we definitely have... I'm not sure if I'd sleep on any of these other characters that are underdogs. Both have their qualities. But let us continue on to the middleweight other matches. The top right quadrant, shall I say.
Okay, so starting off our first match here. Our Tiger from Eden's Reach, Max, goes up against Oscar from Knights College.
Good matchup.
And the next one we have another Temptations Ballad character, Artemy, going up against the T-Loving Devon from Dawn Chorus.
Oh, that is a
okay.
tough match. I don't know Ilya as well, but oof. Artemy versus Devon. Oof, that is going to be a tough choice for me.
That's an interesting one. And then Our third match, Remember the Flowers, Axel goes up against Dawn Chorus's Rune.
Cool.
And rounding off the quadrant, Logan from Sido Tales of a New Dawn is going up against Temptation Valid's Sid with an extra D.
Yep, 2Ds. All right. Now these are going to be also, even the 3 and 6 here are really strong contenders. And once again, I have to say, like, the other matchup besides those, like the 19th and 14th one, we might have another firecracker match here. I could definitely see Artemine and Devin, and even the Axel and Rune match. I honestly think this is the first one where I can really recognize as, like, all having a potential to upset and take over the bracket, or this quadrant of the bracket.
Yeah. Plus, also, if Rune Shelter was like just a little higher, we'd have Rune Shelter versus Rune Dawn Chorus.
Ah, that would have been so cool. Battle of the Runes. But I couldn't make it happen. Anyway, who are the remaining 8? Or the remaining quadrant?
So, our final quadrant. And the first match is Diederich from Knights College against Jimstar from Provader.
Nice.
Next up in the next match is Grantley from Knights College going against Cole from Temptation's Ballad. And then our third match, someone who's used to fighting, Volga from Chemo Coliseum, is going against Burry from Shelter.
Nice, nice.
And the last match of this quadrant and the last match of this bracket is Ivind of Tavern Spear. I think it's going to be a tough one for him. He's up against Oswald from Recent Reach.
Ooh, that is going to be a hard one to vote on. I unfortunately haven't known enough about Tavern of Spear, but seeing a more popular character from Tavern of Spear going up against a strong candidate from Eden's Reach, that is going to be another one to watch. Who knows? We might have a tough 2 versus 31 match. And excuse me as I change something quickly. There we go. Just had to change something in my description for the future. All right, so that is our middleweight. I'll take it away with the...
Now let's argue with each other with the heavyweight ones.
Oh boy, chairs will be thrown. That is all I have to say. All right.
All-out war has finally been broken out.
Ah, gosh, it's a battle out here. All right, so far no conflicts. Here is the top left quadrant. With the number 1 seed, Neferu from Adastra, going up against a potential interested lover, Scipio from Chemia. Both are actually in Chemia, and both do have quite a lot of interaction with each other through that. So this is kind of an interesting dilemma. Like, technically, Neferu's currently active in Interia, and Scipio is not. So this one could be switched, but I'm going to quickly ask the committee, should we keep it as is, or should we switch it up? Are the stories, like the
Keep
universe...
the lovers' quarrel.
Ah, how mean of you. I'm just... Shoot, I meant to double check this on my side of the bracket, who they would have been switched with. Another Echo Project character. I would have felt bad for doing this to them, but then again, whoever... Oof. Okay. I think we're going to keep it.
Yeah, I think keeping it probably be the best solution
Yeah.
at this point.
Unless...
You know,
Unless...
that's how I go on.
Right. Unless Neferu and Scipio are both active in the same novel, like latest novel, then I probably wouldn't. Yeah.
Oh yeah, that makes sense. So, I don't think do we even know if Scipio is actually in any of the future releases as of currently, like the current.
Not sure. All we know is Chemia, and yeah.
I mean, Chemia takes place largely after Interia.
Yeah. So it could be a lot.
Technically, Skip will pop up in Adastra, but it's a cameo So I don't think that really counts. Right?
You're talking about
Yeah.
yeah.
But it's
Yeah.
interesting because Nefero does appear in Chemia. Like, he is a big part of that, so it's like, I'm a bit, like, hesitant, so.
You're hesitant.
Not sure.
That's not like you.
Oh, man, you should see me in real
Oh, no.
life.
Well, it's either that or Neferu versus Todd.
That's the thing I was gonna, have to say, because our 31st seed is Todd. We can do that, it's just, oof. That'll be an interesting match then. Either way, because the number 2 seed is Volgor, and whoever is not here will have to face Volgor. So there's a worry of collusion then, in a sense of, are you judging it based on that? Just solely based off of both of them being in Chemia alone, I think we're going to have to make the switch. Would the committee object to that? We're doing a live reading.
No.
I think
I'm-
after that whole, after that bit, that I think it's only fair to do this.
Right.
After a while, after all, I mean, like
Seems like if they appear,
they're both within the same type of media, if that makes sense.
yeah, they're in the same like series. Like, it's different from the Smoke Room and Echo because then it's like different time frames. Like, this is actually taking place at like the same time, and like I said, Nefero is also in Chemia a good amount. So yeah, so we're gonna do the switch unless anybody objects.
There's a difference between a distant sequel versus just a direct sequel, which
Right.
this would be more of a direct sequel versus.
Well, it's not the
I mean,
it's not the indirect sequel itself.
alternatively,
oh no, I'm just saying, like it's gems of like, kind of like. what am I trying to say?
alternatively, instead of going for the higher seed, you could go for the lower seed, Carl, who just barely made it below 32 with 3 points below Scipio.
But that would mean Scipio would be eliminated from the bracket. That is kind of the conflict
Yes.
there.
I mean, there's a conflict with all the choices.
I think it would be best to keep all the candidates that are in. So I think we're going to do the Todd and Scipio switch. And to conclude why I'm doing this is because they technically are both from Chemia, even if Chemia is not Neferu's main story. I guess that's what I'm getting at, because, yeah, Neferu is mostly known for now from Adastra, and eventually will be known from Interia. But yeah. So we're going to do that. We are going to save and switch.
Yeah, I think that's good.
Hopefully I didn't brute force anybody with that decision.
No, you're
I
fine.
didn't do this violently, I swear. Right, so
There's no bloodshed in the making of this poll.
right, that's just how it ends. But yeah, our first match now, it's going to be Neferu from Adastra versus Todd from the Smoke Room. This one's gonna hurt. Oh, this one hurts me so much. I never felt so conflicted about a 1 versus 32 match. This is insane. And then to go up against them, definitely an interesting other side of it. Tano from Far Beyond the World versus Likalau, Clouded Leopard from Nekajishi. Interesting scenario.
Yes, Tano's, who tied with Scipio last year.
Yeah. He was the one that tied with Scipio. That was a whole interesting dilemma, and we had to vote on it. Ugh, that was a heck of a thing. But after that, the other half of the quadrant, we have Nikolai from the Smoke Room versus Kudzu from Echo. And following that up, we got Parker, Mr. Stone from After Class versus Shuichi from Tennis Ace. All 4 of these characters in this half are really competitive. Even the top half is really, really competitive. Like, all of these could be individual people's very respective best characters. Like, they are that hot, in my opinion.
Heavyweight,
Shuichi's tough.
full of dedicated husbandos.
Indeed. Very supportive characters. and one maybe not so. We won't say who, but yeah, but it kind of it's complicated. Yep, that is our top left quadrant. Be on the lookout for that one. That one's gonna be interesting. I don't know if the number 1 seed's gonna make it out alive. And our bottom left quadrant. Macon from Socially Awkward versus June from Tennis Ace. Meanwhile, we have Jace, the MC from Socially Awkward versus Coach Gill from Afterclass. The other half, an interesting choice of candidates. All of these are really really gonna be tense ones. Yuichi, the MC from Tennis Ace versus Spencer from Extracurricular Activities. The winner of that will face Cliff from the Smoke Room versus Lin Hu from Nekajishi. Dang, that's gonna be a conflict. That is gonna be so tough for me to choose. Any thoughts on this one? This one's also gonna be a tough quadrant.
I'm still so baffled that June being seated so low. They were like seated
Yeah, he was
above 16 last year.
He was high for a while.
Yeah, that's what I said. I told you. It's
sorry.
just I think it's just. Oh no, sorry.
Oh, I just hit my knee on the table, so everything shook.
Oh. I like I said earlier. I think it's just that there's so many furry visual novels that have been coming out the recent years that a lot of the older classic ones are, while still very popular, they're moving down the list a bit. More recent and sadly hotter crushes
Right.
are becoming more prominent.
Yeah.
Like, who? Because the top 16 seeds are full of people who were here last year.
No. I mean, like we were discussing like they're moving down lower. I was saying like because
Relative to the newer novels that are big.
Yeah.
Yeah, like some of these like Socially Awkward is starting to grow. The Smoke Room, especially, they were really underseeded before. Now they're really starting to climb in strong.
I mean, I would argue Cliff is underseeded.
I agree, but yep, that's just how the vote went. So that's why that one is going to be a really tough match for you. Because both are really strong candidates, in my opinion.
And then we have the tennis prodigies.
Yes, the two tennis prodigies. They shouldn't be voted on. They just need to have an actual tennis match against each other to determine the winner. Then again, you
just have like.
Oh, go ahead. Sorry.
Have a contingent of voters voting based on tennis ability only.
That'll be quite a way to vote. Oh man! Before we get too caught up in that, let's get the other half done, and then we can, say when we are going to release the votes, because I'm wanting to give people a span of 4 days to vote, and I'll announce when the first matches will come out. But first, let's get through the other half. No conflicts, good. We have William from the Smoke Room versus Asterion from Minotaur Hotel. Another tough match, and once again, unfortunately, I think Asterion is underseeded here. So, really going to be hard for me to vote on that one, and for everybody, I think, in general. Could be an upset. But William's also really strong. I wouldn't be surprised if there wasn't. Then the winner of that, Murdoch from the Smoke Room versus Tyson from Password. Oh, come on. All of them are tough now. Why?
That's a really tough one. I'm not sure what I feel about that one because I like both those characters.
Yeah, but in like different ways. It's not like they have the same things I like them for. But below that, we have Vither from Far Beyond the World versus Walter, the MC from After Class. And to round out that quadrant, we have Lars from After Class going up against Yao from the Smoke Room. Both are tigers.
Tigers, yeah.
Interesting. Both are kind of your shyer, quieter tigers. That's something I've noticed. They do really have similar personality traits, so I think this will be a really good matchup to compare them. Definitely an apples to apples match instead of apples to oranges. So yeah, it's like the top half of this quadrant is really going to be tough, but I think that Lars and Yao matches, even Vither too, are going to be pretty tough candidates to face whoever wins that. But we finally go down to our final match. This is the only bracket that, or no, it technically had a conflict. I was gonna say it, but yeah, no more conflicts now. Okay. Anyway, the final quadrant. We have Tom from Socially Awkward going up against Devin from Arches. Facing the winner of that will be Dave, the MC from Password, versus Samuel, technically our main character, but not a changeable name, so Samuel from the Smoke Room. After that, we have Varissa from Far Beyond the World versus Leo from Echo. I don't know how to think of that.
It's an interesting one for sure.
Yeah. I really don't know who I'd vote on this one. Whew.
Apples to oranges.
Really is. But below that, a tough match, and I think both our 1-32 match and our 2-31 match could have potential upsets. Scipio from Chemia versus Volgor from Far Beyond the World. I don't think our 1 and 2 seeds are safe. Not in the slightest. They have some tough opponents to come up against. I don't know who's gonna pull this out.
I think Vulgar's probably safe.
I don't know. I think Scipio has potential. Even once he goes into even the Elite 8 match would be like Tom, Samuel, maybe even Dave, Devin, possibly. They are definitely some good ones in my opinion. But that concludes the heavyweight bracket and all the other brackets. I do have the dates for when these brackets are going to happen. So what the plan is that the heavyweight bracket, the votes will start on Monday, the poll will start on Monday, and it will close on Friday evening, kind of around this time, 6 p.m.-ish Pacific. But on the other hand, we'll have the middleweight bracket kind of take a place the day afterwards, where it starts on Tuesday, March 1st, and ends on March 5th for the first round. And that will be announced by North Grizz or Lad Lod, either on his own channel or we will do it on my channel. It depends on what we want to do, like collaboration-wise. We'll let you know in the video announcements. But besides that, our niche bracket will be last but certainly not least, staggered to being opened on Wednesday, and the polls will be closing on Sunday. And that will be announced by Fallen Wolf, and once again, she can do it on her own channel, or we'll collab together on the same channel. But that is how we're going to do it. So I will post the first matches on Monday. Be sure to look out for that. Join the Discord if you want to keep the latest updates on that, or my Twitter. Both of those, I will be frequently posting updates. And I'll also be congratulating our candidates that have made the bracket, or well, their creators, in a sense. And yeah, that is it. I will also update the link to this thing and post it on Twitter and Discord so you can also take a look at it. All right, any closing thoughts from y'all before we settle for the night? And I need dinner too.
Some interesting matches. I want to say and like last year, I can't feel like I can just say who I think's gonna win, because last year was a lot of surprises for the most part. I was very surprised last year. Some of the wins. Yeah,
we had a lot of good upsets.
And many more upsets to come. Anyways, I wanted to mention, I thought like the ability to name Dave, the MC for password, was like removed like a
Did
long
it?
time ago.
I don't know.
Yes.
Yeah, originally you could name him whatever, but then Grizz decided to drop that and just keep with the canon name, which was Dave.
Okay, I may have to remove that for following years then. But yeah, good to know that in advance.
We can finally not name on. It's progress.
Mm-hmm.
Progress, I tell you.
Exactly. We are making progress, but anyway, I'm gonna get going soon. Sorry to kind of abruptly end things,
Oh,
but
no, that's fine.
yeah.
You did it, go eat it.
Well, I really am hungry for dinner, and my family is making dinner.
Hey,
Yeah.
I mean, you gotta eat what you gotta eat.
Hey.
I still have my food right in front of me.
Oh man, I'll let you eat then. So yeah, that is all from tonight, and thank you to Grizz and Fallen for both volunteering for hosting, and to Bob and Koro for helping me out behind the scenes.
Yeah.
I like to support.
Yeah. Alright. Taking off that studio mode. So we are done for tonight. Hopefully I will see you all either on Monday when I release the poll, or I'll just announce it on Twitter, or on Friday when the results come in, because those are definitely going to be live streamed. So that will be fun. Anyway, that is all for tonight's stream. Thank you for stopping by, and good luck to our candidates for this coming March Madness. That is all for now, and until next time, take care, folks.
Bye.